All right, peace, brother. Yes, I'm about to do your reading for you right now. I was actually about to pour some of my kombucha, and I decided I should do it on camera just because I wanted to kind of hear your thought on this. I know that some say that I think kombucha has like I forget what that thing is called. It starts with a C. It sounds like Candida. It's like stomach virus. But nah. Let me know what you think about kombucha though, what your thoughts are on it. Yeah, brother, welcome. On my laptop I got not my laptop, my monitor. I got your chart in front of me. So right now we are going to be looking into your natal chart, right? I remember in the past I kind of took a look at it for you, and we're revisiting it once again. So, looking at your chart, brother, one thing that's very, very prominent and very recognizable, man, is you have a stellium in your first house, right? Within your first house, there is a stellium. What this means is that there is a lot of power, a lot of energy that's being developed and cultivated within the first house. Let's talk about what the first house is. The first house is the house of one's personal life. It is the first house, so it is one. It signifies how you as an individual express and influence this world. It's like the center point of your being and how you influence the world outside of you. First and foremost, the first house is a vital house, right? It's a house that deals with health and healing. Not healing, but health. And because, hold on, let me see. Yeah, it specifically deals with health. The 12th house is actually the house of healing, and you have a bunch of planets within the 12th house as well. I want to start off by saying that, like, when a person has their sun in the first house, right, what this indicates is that their life is heavily revolved around the self, personal interests, making sure that one gets done, or one accomplishes, rather, I should say, their personal desires and goals. Now, that's the first house, right? And that's where your sun is channeling its energy. The thing is, you have your sun in the first house, but it's in the sign of people. This sign, which is Aquarius, deals with the collective, right? It deals with groups of people, engaging with people. And in Aquarius, a person with the sun in Aquarius, because the sun deals with the identity, a person with the sun in Aquarius does identity through networking, through who they know. Meaning that people that have their first house in Aquarius are very, very well connected, very, very well networked. And your network is your net worth 100%. And because it's the first house, the personal house, it's like 11th house energy in the first house. The 11th house is the house of networks, associates, connections, people that you interact with and like every blue moon. You know what I'm saying? They're like kind of almost like me and you in a way, but I wouldn't say, because we definitely do have a personal connection in a way, for what I'm saying, where it's like, even though we're strangers and we talk every now and again, there's this theme, there's this energy of familiarity and awareness of each other. Where it's like, despite not talking for years, we can always pick up the phone and get back where we were. So you have this ability to make personal connections with other people. And also there's this element of your identity being heavily connected to what you're known for and who you know. You know what I'm saying? So this means be very like aware and attentive of your network and like the people you're connected to, but also what they're saying about you. Like it's an energy of being conscientious of the people you connect yourself to, because they have a great influence on you personally. And when it comes to the sun in Aquarius, right? When the sun goes into Aquarius, it's in detriment because the sun is in its opposite sign in Aquarius. The sun would rather be in Leo. And so the thing about Leo is the sign of expression, right? Leo is all about, look at me. I want the attention. I want the validation. I want to be center stage. Aquarius, on the other hand, wants to be behind the scenes, right? Similar to how when you brought everybody together, right? And it was like, because Alkali to realize it's still alive through you, you know what I'm saying? But you created a network and connected it to something personal to you, right? Which is healing. And so when it comes to healing, or health, rather, I should say, the planets, Mercury, and then the celestial bodies, the moon, and the sun are the vital planets. Mercury, the moon, and the sun. They're vital planets, and they signify healing and health. Health more than healing. The 12th house is the house of healing. And so you have, for example, Jupiter in your 4th house. In your 12th house. You also have Venus and Neptune in your 12th house. These are houses of healing. So seeing that, it would be greatly valuable to translate it through the lens of hold on, I gotta look at it a little bit more before I speak, because the thing is, you have Jupiter in the 12th house, which is a good thing, but then you have Jupiter in Capricorn, which makes things harsh, makes things hard. You see, the thing is, when Jupiter enters Capricorn, Jupiter becomes more like material. It's hold on, I'm trying to find a way to correctly say this. Here's what I wanted to say. I don't know if it'd be correct to say. I was gonna say it's because because Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. Jupiter ultimately signifies wisdom. It deals with expansion. It deals with how you went through life and what you extracted from life. How you learned through life that there's something greater than you, even, if what I'm saying, because Jupiter is faith, optimism, spirituality, divinity, things like that. When Jupiter goes into Capricorn, Jupiter is in the domain of Saturn. And so a lot of Capricorn people, become somewhat atheistic, and they may struggle with belief, right? Where they struggle with belief. But that's not the case for you, because it's in the 12th house. You have Jupiter in the 12th house, which is the house that Jupiter wants to be in, but it's also the house of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? It's the house of the spirit world. So you having Jupiter in the 12th house is an indication that where you're pulling from when it comes to life experiences is from a spiritual lens on one hand. And let me explain what I mean by that. See, the 12th house is the house of the spirit world. And so people who have 12th house placements, they're close to the spirit world. If that makes sense. So yes, you are close to the spirit world. And a lot of the times, when you have experiences, either you have spiritual encounters with spiritual beings, or there are influences beyond your awareness that are helping and guiding and assisting you. And so with Jupiter being in the 12th house, it's very valuable for you to understand that, like, one of your greatest assets is the spirit world and the spiritual and people, the spiritual beings that are there. But the thing is, you do have to learn to cleanse and purify this energy of control. Because when Jupiter goes into Capricorn, because Jupiter wants to be in Cancer over Capricorn, and Cancer is a sign of submission, it's a sign of surrendering and letting go, whereas Capricorn is more about control. So when Jupiter goes into Capricorn, these people may kind of step in their own toes by wanting to control life and being too cynical or too realistic in life, to the point where they can't just let go and have faith, and surrender. So there may be an energy of needing to learn to surrender and let go, and at times it may even be it may even cause self-sabotaging energies where it's like the universe or spirit may be trying to come to you and ask you to let go of something or surrender something, but there may be this inability or in desire to want to surrender it, if what I'm saying. And so seeing this though, with Jupiter and Capricorn, like I said in the beginning, a lot of the times people who have their Jupiter and Capricorn, they have a hard time with understanding spirituality or God, because the responsibilities of their physical life may be heavy. Reason being, Jupiter expands. Capricorn is the sign of Saturn, which deals with restriction, limitation, poverty, trials, and tribulation. So Jupiter is the planet of wisdom, and Jupiter is instilling wisdom into you through making you go through hardship, through struggle and trial and tribulation. And don't get me wrong, the thing about Capricorn is time. So with Capricorn, there comes maturity and there comes age. What I mean by that is, the more you mature and the older you get, the better things get for you. The more you are rewarded. Because Capricorn teaches structure and discipline, you know what I'm saying, and systemization, and that takes time, you know what I'm saying. Now, you have Jupiter conjunct Venus. With you having Jupiter conjuncting Venus, right, in the 12th house, it is an indication that, like, when it comes to love and relationships, well, not just love, but like relationships in general, there may be this element and energy of fatedness or spiritual favor. Favoredness or spiritual favor, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, you may find, we talked about this too, because a good example is when that experience with that guy, right, who came to you and was like, no, when you guys needed, in Canada, that guy who just reached out to you out of the blue, because, okay, 12th house, spirit world, right, there are things happening in the spirit world where networks and connections are concerned, right? These things that are happening in the spirit world can be explained through your conjunction with Jupiter and Venus, right? Because even though Jupiter is in a hard place, Jupiter is always going to be positive. It's your source of positivity, and it's kind of in a hard place. But no matter what, it's always going to try to be positive, right? So Jupiter brings positivity. It brings people who are affluent, who are generous, who are giving, right? That's all Jupiter energy. Venus is the planet of relationships, relatability, connecting with people. You know what I'm saying? And so when we look at this energy, I wonder what else we can look at. When we look at this energy, it translates to having spiritual favor where your networks are connected. Where your networks are concerned. Spiritual favor, that deals with the 12th house in Jupiter. The 12th house is the spiritual world, and anything spiritual. Jupiter is favor. Venus is others. But it's in a very business way, right? And because, okay, we have Cancer, which is the maternal archetype, right? But then we have Capricorn, which is the archetype of the father, which is the archetype of, it's like cold and dry. Like Cancer is emotions, feelings, caring, loving. Capricorn is abandonment, throwing someone out. If you're having your moon, if you're having your moon, for example, in the first house in Capricorn, if you're having your moon in the first house, it's an indication that when it comes to your origin story or your birth, like your childhood, because that's what the moon deals with. It helps you understand how it is that you were taken care of, how it is you were nurtured. Because see, the moon is your reactions, how you react to situations, and that is something that is instilled within you at a young age. You know, you react and respond to the world according to how you were treated by your mother and your first initial emotional experiences, right? So with you having the moon in the first house is the house of the personal life. First house energy breeds loneliness or alone energy, being isolated or feeling alone and misunderstood. It also creates ambitious energy. It makes for an energy where it's like, you know what you want to do in life and you're ready to accomplish those things in life. You know what I'm saying? It's a very self-driven person. A look at me and all of my accomplishments. It's pretty much like the house of ego. It's not to say ego is a bad thing, right? Not to say ego is a bad thing, because we all need ego. But with the first house, people tend to have very strong, very powerful egos. Hold on, intersected house. I mean that but now you also have a lot going on in your first house, which would just recommend, which would just indicate that knowing yourself, understanding yourself, who you are as a person in this life is very important. Connecting back to your roots, observing your experiences as a child and what that brought forth to you, healing certain things from the childhood. These are all things that can be beneficial. With the moon being in the first house, this can create an energy of personalism, where it's like the moon is how you react and respond, right? Where it's like how you react and respond is to the first house, right? Which is very, very personal, taking things personally. But Capricorn, which is where your moon is the sign of utility. It's all about using things. It's I use. Capricorn is not really emotional. They're rather emotionally unavailable, right? They're emotionally reserved. They oppress emotions and feelings, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So Capricorn doesn't know truly how to process its emotions and feelings. See, the Capricorn energy is all about using things. It's all about utility. It's all about tools. And Capricorn is like, these emotions have because it's an earth sign. So it has to be used in a practical way and has to make practical sense. Capricorn is like, yo, these feelings, these emotions, they don't make sense to me. I don't want to feel them. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is, a lot of the times, unless you're a very advanced person, people with the moon in Capricorn fall into these traps of not truly knowing how to process and deal with their emotions, and as a result, creating unhealthy connections with people, where it's like more about the practical value than the emotional connection. Because Cancer is the sign where the moon wants to be. Cancer is emotional. Cancer will take care. Cancer is a mother, right? A mother will take care of her child without any questions asked, right? She'll just do it. But a Capricorn is like, this baby better grow up and make me some money. And a Capricorn also will be quicker to act in a disciplinary, especially Capricorn moon, in a disciplinary um, way towards its offsprings or just people it has to take care of. It's very like disciplined, very serious, very militant. You know what I'm saying? It needs things to be run a certain way, and it's like your value is determined by how useful you are. Once you're not useful, it's an energy of like you kind of gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So when the moon goes into Capricorn, these people can be very like very disconnected emotionally, if that makes sense. So with you having your moon, oh, let me see. So you have your moon in Capricorn, and it is, what is it doing? We got Capricorn, and we got it trining Saturn. Okay. So one positive thing I will say about your moon being in Capricorn is that it does enable a person to be long term orientated, a person with an ability to hold a goal until it matures and grows like it's supposed to, a person who's systematic, very disciplined, very structured, you know. And so Capricorn is the career life. It's what you are known for in the world and how you prosper in the world.